where we came from, how the universe was created, what are the origins of life on Earth. Those are the most common questions in the scientific field nowadays. In the last few years, many theories are trying to answer those questions. As more research we do, they bring us more questions without answers. The Big Bang theory developed from the apparent expansion of the universe is the main source of the scientific field research nowadays. This idea gives us expansion to our free will to understand the origin of life and the universe itself. From an explosion, as it says the theory, the universe starts to expand, giving birth to planets, stars, and all kinds of life in the universe. Life that for some people, in a universe still unknown, does not belong just for our planet. Join us in the search of those answers in RC History, a draft of the sun. When I was a teenager, sometimes I spent hours looking to the stars in the sky. My eyes were traveling from one star to another. Each bright at night was special to me. Sometimes I followed for some seconds the celestial bodies that crossed the sky, such as comets, satellites, and among those lights, I just followed another form of light. That light, on that day, crossed the sky from one side to the other side and turned to the opposite direction. Even if it looks like a comet, I knew that it wasn't. It moved so fast in different directions and suddenly disappeared in the sky. Today, I am sure that we are not alone in this huge universe. If I become president, I will make every piece of information this country has about UFO sightings available to the public and scientists. I am convinced that UFOs exist because I have seen one. Hi, my name is Wilson de Figueiredo and I'm here to guide you through a series of videos that let us to understand, from science to our reality, how we define this huge universe. Since the beginning, our history is made of a natural need for understanding the universe and life around us. In Egypt, 1,000 years ago, the god Ra was a representation of power. Ra, the sun god, was the creator of the sky, the earth, and the underworld. The respect for the sun and its magnetic fields goes as far as the creator of life itself. Subjects, like the creation of life, made Charles Darwin inspired, and many others such as the Russian scientist Alexander Oparin in the 30s. In Alexander's ideas, the energy from the sun, lightning, and earth heat triggered chemical reactions to produce small organic molecules from substance present in the atmosphere. One of the most common subjects that goes and comes back from time to time, being science or even religions around the globe in all our history. Do you believe that sun, water, and earth created life the way it is nowadays? Galileo Galilei, the father of science, in a public demonstration of mass and gravity, started a new concept that put in check the religions defining, you see to believe, instead you believe to see it. From the 16th century, we start a long path to redefine the universe as we see today, in a new idea far away from the religion's definition. This scenario gave us the development of the telescope through the research made by the religion and the scientific sides, both trying to prove the origin of life and its evolution. In one hand, the ideas from creationism and evolutionism, both focus on the position of the sun, could not avoid the same unanswered question: how did the universe begin?
The basic concept that cannot be avoided is that without sun, water, and earth, in fact, there is no life.
Without the sun, the dark and the cold would take place on this planet, transforming everything in a big ball of ice. The sun gives off heat and light to support all living things. And the consensus is that 70.8% of the Earth's surface is covered by water, 29.2% is covered by land, letting us to ask ourselves how comes that the name of this planet is not planet water instead of planet Earth. Without water, there is no life, and we all know that.
Water is the essence of life. Take the womb as a reference, where 99% of the amino acid fluid is water, and the Mother Earth is where our species lives on it.
Of course, we all know that these combinations from Darwin to the newest concepts also points that the first biological birth of life in this planet was the ocean. The microbiology has thousands of real explanations from the creation of life itself, such as the sperm, that shows how different life can be if compared the sperm cell to an adult human being.
During all those years of research, the religion and science contribute to make you understand how important it is all those invisible factors, such as also the atom, the electricity, the magnetism, the radiation, and even the common and important air, where it is water as well.
The beauty of the living thing is not the atom that goes in it, but the way those atoms are put together. Each one of these theories has their positive importance to the modern society to make us able to discuss and understand that knowing from where we came is as important as to know where we are going to. Through this main sentence in Geneva, the scientific field has invested more than $4 billion in a project to simulate the Big Bang by crashing protons together at higher speed. The European Centre of Nuclear Research, together with scientists from the whole world, give a huge importance to this experiment. Naturally, all comes to the same point of understanding of the world and how it was made, can affect life and for sure our future.
But it was in 1935 that a collection of books called The Rational Culture brought a new explanation about the beginning of the universe in a simple language to the most well-educated mind or to the most simple one.
Its knowledge goes through many of known sciences such as astrophysics, biology, cosmology, to a variety of many others. Much before Carl Sagan, Einstein, Hubble's definition of the universe, the collection has still been published until today. Through those chapters, the electric and magnetic forces are defined as responsible for the variety of lives and its complex formations, according to the rational learnings. It also includes the complex gravity and mass, the sun energy, universe expansion, and the creation of the organic life at this planet.
Those chapters start with a simple and basic idea, rich in examples, and as simple as math might become a huge equation in the reader's mind if it followed from the beginning till the end.
The structure of those pages can be proved through the scientific and academic mind. Those lessons can make even easier to understand not just how it was made, the Big Bang theory, but why.
How can it be proved? Such a complex structure. How can it be possible to understand life itself from the smallest and invisible electron to the biggest star in our solar system, the Sun? How is it possible to define the formation of the Sun and its importance through the ages? Are the brilliant mind right about their theories? See you soon in our next episode. Sal.
RC History. In what do you believe? The religion of the future will be a cosmic religion. It should transcend the person of God and avoid dogma and theology, covering both the natural and the spiritual. It should be based on sense arising from the experience of all things natural and spiritual as a meaningful unity. The further the spiritual evolution of mankind advances, the more certain it seems to me that the path to genuine religiosity does not lie through the fear of life and the fear of death and the blind faith, but through striving after rational knowledge.
Listen, you all. We're going to tell you the most important thing that you ever heard in your life. You never heard that before. We came from a super world of rational energy. And we live in an anti-world, world of animals' energy. Read the book, the only book, the book of God, universe in disenchantment, and you're gonna know the truth.
Alrighty, man, play that guitar. Come on. Do it.
Don't you know? We are gonna rule the world. Don't you know? Don't you know? We're gonna put it together. We're gonna put it together. We're gonna rule the world. Don't you know? Don't you know? We are gonna rule the world. Don't you know? Don't you know? We're gonna put it together.